Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today we have an ink for you that I got in a bunch of cartridges, and I actually sort of got this for going to a workshop at the Triangle Pen Show, I don't know, a year or two ago. This is Pilot's Iroshizuku Murasaki-Shikibu, which comes in bottles, which are very nice, or these little cartridges. So they come in this little pull-out drawer, which is nice. These are Pilot cartridges. They are proprietary, so they only really go in Pilot pens, but you know that probably by now. You just kind of puncture that in down there, and actually is labeled with the name, which is kind of nice. You don't get that on a whole lot of cartridges, but this is a good little set of cartridges. So let's take a look at the ink. All right, so this is what the ink looks like on some paper, and I have recently come around on purple inks, as y'all know, in the last couple of years. This one doesn't quite do it for me. I have to be completely honest. It's kind of a dusty violet, and it's fine. It's just kind of lacking something. I like a little bit of an intensity in my purple inks, and this was not quite giving me what I'm going for, but it is a really nice ink anyway. So take a look at that sort of lilac-y purple we've got going on there. This is my usual Nebula casual note paper. Actually, this notebook is full. I've started a whole other one. The flow on this one is medium. The performance, very good on copy paper, which is very nice, even with minimal bleed, even with this medium nib and this custom 743 that I got. Qualities, you get a little bit of shading occasionally, but not a whole lot. Usually this is just kind of a solid lilac-y purple. Here's the pen that I've been using it in, which is this one. This is a Pilot Custom 743 Verdigris. I actually bought this pen at this pen show, and I was like, I'm going to put this ink in there. So I did, and it was perfectly fine in here, but it just kind of wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't really wowed. It's a perfectly nice ink, and this nib is obviously awesome. These have great nibs on them. Same nibs as in the Pilot Custom 823 and others. Just a great nib, but you know, it's fine. It's totally fine is my ultimate verdict. It's charming, deep violet, flows well, dries quickly, good ink, but purple, man, that's a tough space to compete in, as I say there. You can get 50 ml bottles of this for $23, or the price on this like fluctuates a bit, but somewhere around there, or those packs of cartridges for 14. So 6 cartridges are $14. They're like a little bit over $2 a piece. They are proud of those cartridges. There's the chromatography there, which is pretty complicated. We got this light blue layer, we got pinks, we got lavenders. It's a really interesting ink in terms of like what it does on chromatography. I think that's pretty cool. Let's get some water on it and see what happens. Then take a look at it on some other papers. Take a look at it next to some other purples that are in that same area. You know the drill. Gotta get on the words there too. Why not? Just let us drench it. All right, I'm gonna blot this away. It actually looks like it's doing okay. I'm gonna give it a little bit of this. Yeah. Now there is a whole blue layer here that seems to stick around, so we'll see what's left when we mop this up. I imagine it might just be that blue. I guess we'll see. All right, yeah, there is some left, which is kind of impressive. Purple inks do tend to, like, they can be like a little bit stainy. Like, be careful of those in your white pens, I suppose. But man, it stuck around on the paper here better than I thought it was going to. You definitely do see some of that blue, I think, especially like up here in the test and down here. But it's definitely still looking purple, and I can still make out all the dots and lines and words. So there is a little bit of mild water resistance there. That's pretty good. So cool chromatography, nice little bit of water resistance, which I'm surprised by, and a perfectly nice sort of dusty lilac. So there you go, or dusty violet, I say there, but I don't know, probably either one works. So there you go. Let's take a look at it on some other papers and see how it looks. Here it is on my usual Staples 20-pound, 30% recycled copy paper, and that's from that Pilot Custom 743 nib. It is pretty darn good on here. You see a couple of little feathers, which is barely anything. I think it looks totally fine, but you do kind of see it's got a little bit of like sometimes it's a little bit lighter and sometimes it's a little bit darker. I don't love that sort of behavior. It's maybe just like a little bit on the dry side of medium, or it's just doing a little something weird with the paper. I don't know, it's fine. But on the back though, looks really good. It definitely didn't do any more bleeding than anything else on here. And I think you could probably use the back side of this page if you wanted to. There's a little bit of bleed through right here, but otherwise just like spots here and there. And if you're using a drier nib or a finer nib, that might not even be there at all. So yeah, pretty good on the copy paper. Next up, some of my transcription from the 99% Invisible City by Roman Mars and Kurt Kolstad. This is off page 64, in case you're keeping track of that stuff. And this is Mormon Croaky paper, which is one of my very favorite papers to use with fountain pens. I kind of love this stuff. I want more of it. I want all of it. But it looks perfectly nice on here. You can see there's definitely a little bit of shading on here. It's like darker in areas, lighter in some areas. I think it looks nice enough, but like I said, it just kind of doesn't have the impact that I need from a purple ink to really keep me interested. So take a screenshot of that if you are adding this to your screenshot journal of learning a little bit of stuff. This is about traffic lights, which is pretty cool. Kind of like how they picked the colors for traffic lights and all those sorts of things. Interesting stuff. All right, so this is my Inky Fingers Currently Ink notebook. This is wheat straw paper, which is kind of like bamboo or sugarcane paper, that sort of thing. Hard to find these days. And then here we have there's that entry there, and I actually wrote down when I cleaned it out. How about that? I was on a tear that day, cleaning out stuff and actually writing it down. So I cleaned it out a little while ago. This kind of got put on the back burner, unfortunately. But yeah, so I had it in that pen for almost exactly a year. Isn't that weird? But I went through a cartridge or two, and it looks pretty nice. It's a fine ink. All right, lastly for these notebooks, and then we'll look at some color comparisons. This is Galen Leather Co. This is original Tomoe River here, and there is the entry. I think it looks best on this paper. It's really kind of shining on this Tomoe River paper. I think it looks great here. You get shading, you get a little bit of darkness, a little bit of lightness. I think it looks really good on here. It looks best. Looks best on this paper, I want to say for sure. All right, there you go. Let's get on to some of these some color comparisons. All right, I didn't pull too many. Sometimes I will have a zillion comparisons because it's a color space that I'm really into and I keep buying stuff. And other times there won't be as many because it's just maybe like less common, or it's just kind of not one I love. I'm not sure which one it is here, but this one actually looks really good on this coloring card. Here is Murasaki-Shikibu. And here it is on this is a much older sample. This one's from 2012, back when I was getting inks there. And this is, it looks okay on here. Actually, it looks way better on the coloring, which I'm not surprised about because, this is just a really nice paper. But same color, obviously. Then here is Tasha's Murasaki, which has some of the same name, but a very different color. This is much more of a grapey purple. It's darker, it's denser. It's got a little bit more impact. Then here we have Papier Plume Violet, which again has a little bit more impact because it has a little bit more shading. It's doing some other stuff there. Got that one from Anderson Pens. Actually, both of those from Anderson Pens. How about that? This one is Troublemaker Foxglove, which is a multi-chrome that I got from Sherry this last year. Beautiful little multi-chrome there. You get some pinks, you get some blues, you get that same kind of violet-y color. It is a bit lighter than Murasaki-Shikibu, but it's definitely in the same area. And then this one I grabbed because it's like got some of the same colors, but it's definitely darker. This is a newer one that I've just gotten called Iris from Tom's Studio, which I picked up at our local place, Crazy Allen's. So there's a lot of stuff around this color space, this purple area. And this one, I don't know, for me, it's just fine. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not giving me the impact of some of these others. So let me know what you think about this one down there in the comments. If there's some like hardcore Murasaki-Shikibu lovers out there, like that's the best purple, or is this one of those that's kind of for you that's like it's in the collection, but it's like not like you're not reaching for it all the time? I'm not really sure where to put this one. I feel conflicted. I'm on the fence a little bit, but there you go. That's Murasaki-Shikibu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in another video soon, and until then, peace out.